It was a Thursday like any other, people rushing to work, coffee in hand, the city humming with routine energy. Then, suddenly, a news alert flashed across millions of screens. Amazon announces phased withdrawal from United States market. The words seemed almost surreal, as if the world had glitched for a moment. At first, people thought it was a joke, a bizarre internet hoax or a marketing stunt gone too far. But then the official statement arrived, confirming the unthinkable. News anchors read the words aloud, their voices tinged with disbelief. The retail giant woven into the fabric of American life was leaving its home country. For decades, Amazon had been more than a store. It was a daily habit, a lifeline for millions. The reason? President Trump's new America First tariffs, which Amazon claimed made U.S. operations unsustainable. The shock was immediate, rippling from boardrooms to living rooms. Amazon wasn't just a company, it was a utility, a cultural institution, a part of the American identity. News channels scrambled to cover the story, Wall Street panicked as stocks tumbled, and families everywhere wondered how they'd get their essentials, from diapers to medicine, without the click of a button. The announcement sent a shockwave through the economy, raising urgent questions about jobs, investments, and the very future of American commerce. Small businesses, reliant on Amazon's platform, faced sudden uncertainty. Amazon's statement spoke of insurmountable economic hurdles, citing rising costs and a hostile business climate. The company also pointed to an unpredictable regulatory environment with shifting rules and mounting political pressure. The company promised an orderly transition over 18 months, a cold comfort to millions whose jobs, businesses, and daily routines depended on it. Employees checked their emails in the middle of the night, anxious for answers. The world's biggest online store was logging off from its biggest market, leaving America staring at a blank screen, unsure what would fill the void. This wasn't just business news, it was the start of a national identity crisis. The American flag seemed to hang a little lower, as if mourning a loss. The internet buckled under 1 billion panicked searches, as people tried to make sense of the impossible. Amazon's departure felt less like a business decision and more like the sky deciding to retire, leaving a nation in stunned silence. America was left wondering what on earth had just happened and what the future would look like without the company that had become a part of everyday life. So, what is a tariff? You've probably heard the word tossed around in the news, especially when countries are arguing about trade. But what does it actually mean for you, for businesses, and for the global economy? At its core, a tariff is just a tax on imported goods, a kind of cover charge for products entering the American market. Whenever something is shipped in from another country, the government can slap on a fee, making it more expensive before it even reaches the store. For example, if a toy from China costs $5, a $1 tariff bumps the price up to $6. That extra dollar doesn't go to the store or the manufacturer, it goes straight to the government, and that's before anyone even thinks about putting it on sale. The main idea behind tariffs is to make foreign goods pricier, nudging consumers to buy American instead. It's a way to encourage people to support local businesses and keep money circulating within the country. Supporters argue that this protects local businesses and jobs, helping American factories stay open and workers employed. They see tariffs as a shield against cheap imports that could undercut domestic industries. But for a company like Amazon, which thrives on a global marketplace, tariffs are a logistical nightmare. Amazon isn't just a store, it's a massive network connecting buyers and sellers from every corner of the world. Amazon's shelves are stocked with products from all over the world. Smartphone cases from Vietnam, headphones from Malaysia, kitchen gadgets from Europe, and so much more. The company relies on this diversity to offer customers endless choices at competitive prices. Tariffs make almost everything more expensive, forcing Amazon to make a tough choice: either absorb the extra cost and shrink their profits, or pass it on to customers, making shopping less affordable for everyone. Higher prices mean fewer sales, and that's the opposite of what Amazon wants. When customers see prices go up, they might think twice before clicking "Buy Now," which can lead to a drop in sales across the board. The company's finely tuned logistics would be thrown into chaos. Endless paperwork, unpredictable costs, and new layers of bureaucracy at every border. Suddenly, every shipment becomes a puzzle, with new rules and fees to figure out. For a business obsessed with efficiency, tariffs are like swimming through peanut butter: slow, messy, and not worth it. Delays pile up, and the whole system grinds to a halt. Amazon's entire model depends on the free flow of goods moving quickly and seamlessly from one country to another. Disruptions anywhere in the chain can ripple out and cause problems everywhere. tariffs disrupt that flow, threatening the company's very foundation. What seems like a simple tax can actually shake the entire system. The new system would be a logistical and financial disaster for Amazon, with costs rising, profits shrinking, and operations slowing down. In short, tariffs are simple in theory, but for a company built on global trade, they can be devastating in practice, threatening everything from low prices to fast delivery, and even the future of the business itself. Leaving the US would be Amazon's biggest gamble ever, a move that would send shockwaves through the business world and beyond. The US is its largest, most profitable market, the birthplace of its empire, and the foundation of its global dominance. Here, Amazon is woven into daily life, from online shopping to cloud computing. Walking away means giving up billions in sales, risking investor panic, and potentially triggering a stock market freefall. The financial world would be left reeling, questioning Amazon's future. Amazon would have to double down on international markets, pouring resources into Europe, Asia, and South America, regions with huge potential but also major challenges. But every country has its own rules, competitors, and consumer habits. Success in one market doesn't guarantee success in another. In Europe, strict privacy laws make data handling a constant challenge. In India, complex retail regulations and fierce local competition create a tough environment. In China, powerful homegrown tech giants dominate the market, making it hard for outsiders to thrive. Rebuilding revenue abroad would be slow, expensive, and uncertain. Years of investment might not pay off, and setbacks could be frequent. The brand would take a hit, seen as abandoning its roots, spooking partners worldwide, and raising doubts about its stability. Amazon would need a massive PR campaign to explain itself, reassure customers, and prove it's still a global force to be reckoned with. The move could be seen as bold, visionary, or as corporate madness, depending on who you ask. Either way, Amazon would be starting over, far from home, facing a world of uncertainty, and a future that's anything but guaranteed. The most immediate consequence? Catastrophic job loss. Amazon employs over 1 million Americans, not just executives but warehouse workers, drivers, technicians, and customer service reps. When Amazon leaves, these jobs vanish, devastating entire communities. Local economies would spiral, diners lose customers, gas stations sell less fuel, housing markets slump. Small businesses that rely on Amazon Marketplace would lose their main storefront overnight. Many wouldn't survive the transition, triggering more closures and layoffs. The physical footprint, enormous empty warehouses would haunt the landscape. These buildings can't easily be repurposed, they'd stand as monuments to lost jobs and economic activity. The ripple effect would be a tidal wave washing over towns and cities. The loss would extend far beyond Amazon's payroll. America would be left with industrial ruins and shattered communities. The economic devastation would be impossible to ignore. For consumers, Amazon's exit would feel like a return to the retail dark ages. Prime's lightning-fast shipping, gone. Last-minute gifts and instant replacements, no longer a click away. People would have to drive to stores or wait weeks for online orders. The everything store's endless selection would vanish, replaced by the limited stock of traditional retailers. Prices would rise, Amazon's scale and competition kept costs low. Free shipping would disappear, replaced by new fees from other retailers. Shopping would become fragmented and frustrating, with more time spent searching and comparing. The seamless Amazon ecosystem, shopping, entertainment, groceries, would be gone. Americans would juggle multiple services, none as smooth or efficient. Buying things would become harder, slower, and more expensive. Every purchase would remind people of what they'd lost. Amazon's departure would blow a massive hole in government budgets. The company pays billions in federal, state, and local taxes, corporate, property, payroll. When it leaves, all that revenue vanishes. Over 1 million job losses mean less income tax, and more people needing unemployment benefits and social assistance. States and cities that gave Amazon tax breaks would be left with empty warehouses and unpaid bills for infrastructure. To fill the gap, governments would likely raise taxes and cut public services. Fewer teachers, police, and public amenities would follow. The financial crisis would touch everyone, not just those who worked for Amazon. One company's exit would lower the quality of life for millions. The fiscal fallout would be felt for years. President Trump's reaction? Anything but quiet. Expect a storm of social media posts, first calling the news fake, then attacking Amazon and Jeff Bezos as ungrateful and un-American. He'd downplay the impact, promising new patriotic companies would rise to replace Amazon. Announcements of task forces and bold initiatives would follow, projecting strength and optimism. The crisis would be spun as proof of the need for more tariffs and protectionist policies. The message: America doesn't need Amazon, and this will only make the country stronger. The presidential response would be a political performance, not a calm assessment. In Amazon's absence, the retail landscape would fragment and adapt. Big box stores like Walmart and Target would race to improve their online shopping and delivery. Specialized retailers would emerge, each carving out a niche. Shoppers would juggle multiple accounts and checkout processes, no more one-stop shopping. Delivery giants like UPS and FedEx would see a surge in business, but struggle to match Amazon's speed and efficiency. Delivery times would get longer, costs would rise. The cultural impact would be huge, perhaps sparking a renewed buy local movement. Americans would rethink their relationship with tech giants and global corporations. Life would be less convenient, but maybe more diverse and local. The country would be forced to reconsider its economic priorities. Amazon leaving America is more than a business story. It's a lesson in global interconnection. One political decision like tariffs can trigger a chain reaction that reshapes the entire economy. In a globalized world, companies aren't bound by borders. They can move if conditions turn hostile. This shifts power between governments and corporations, exposing the fragility of our convenience-driven lifestyle. The loss of Amazon would reveal how delicate our systems really are. It's a wake-up call. Convenience has a cost and stability is essential. The scenario is a cautionary tale. Political rhetoric has real economic consequences. In the end, cooperation and stability aren't just ideals, they're necessities in a globalized world.